Once upon a time, in a small village in the cold regions of Poland, people whispered stories of a mysterious figure known as Zosia. This young woman, rumored to come from a distant land, possessed an otherworldly beauty and deep, dark eyes that few dared to meet directly. From the day she arrived, Zosia suffered from sudden fainting spells, sometimes in the middle of the road or in a bustling marketplace. Each time she collapsed, those around her would panic, and some began to believe it was a sign of something sinister. Gradually, the villagers started to suspect that Zosia was a vampire. They noticed her pale skin and the pain in her eyes as she would clutch her chest. Her face flushed whenever a wave of agony struck. Some said she came from Sweden, a land far away, known only through tales of war. The people of this village did not welcome Swedes warmly, and Zosia became a figure of suspicion, feared and shunned. One bitter winter day, Zosia passed away at barely 20 years of age. The villagers decided to bury her with special rituals, ones they reserved to ward off dangerous spirits. Her grave, marked as number 75, was dug deep in the old cemetery near the village. As a precaution, they placed a sharp scythe across her neck, while her left big toe was locked tightly with a heavy iron padlock. They believed the scythe would sever her spirit if she tried to escape, and the padlock would imprison her soul for eternity. Time passed, and Zosia's story faded into oblivion, leaving only the rustling of dry leaves covering her lonely grave. Then, hundreds of years later, a team of archaeologists from Nicholas Copernicus University in Poland rediscovered her resting place. Digging deep, they unearthed her skeletal remains, still bearing the rusty scythe and the faint glint of the padlock in the sunlight. They noticed a sparkling ribbon adorning her head, evidence that Zosia once belonged to a noble class, distinct from the common folk around her. They found signs of numerous ailments she had endured: malnutrition, cancer, and other health issues. But in those times, the villagers could not understand her suffering. They only saw her strange symptoms, and gripped by fear, branded her as a vampire. Swedish archaeologist Oscar Nilsson was invited to reconstruct Zosia's face. Carefully studying her skull, he reconstructed each delicate feature, from her slender nose to her high cheekbones. With meticulous care, he layered the clay over the model, bringing Zosia back closer to the image she had in life. Nielsen's goal was not only to reconstruct her face, but also to restore Zosia as a real human being, rather than the monster her legend had made her. When the portrait was completed, Zosia's face appeared, eyes deep as if carrying hidden sorrows, a delicate forehead that seemed to bear endless, silent pain, with a beauty both strange and melancholic. Perhaps the villagers were mistaken. Zosia was not a fearsome creature, but a young woman who had suffered great loneliness and pain, alienated from a community that did not understand her. Zosia's story is no longer confined to her portrait, but serves as a reminder about the danger of misunderstanding others and fearing what we do not know. She remains a symbol of all those who were judged and cast aside because they were different.